All right, let's get chatting with the management that we've lined up for you today. JBM Auto reported a weakest set of fourth quarter numbers. The revenues were down about 6% on a year-on-year basis. The margins also slipped by 60 basis points year-on-year. We have Nishant Arya, who's the Vice Chairman and MD of JBM Auto, joining in. Of course, Nishant, the trigger is the EV buses. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But just as far as these numbers are concerned, you've missed your revenue guidance by about 150 crores. You're targeted 4,000 crores in this year. You've done about 3850 odd crores. But more importantly, the miss has been on the margins. You had guided for anywhere between 11 to 12%, saying that, at some point you'll also see 12.5%. But margins are very close to the double-digit mark right now, about 10%. So what do you want to say for FY24 in terms of revenue and margin?
No, so FY24 is going to be a great year because we have an order book of more than 5,000 buses, which we would be delivering in this year. And our component and tooling business is also going to do very well. As you see in Q4 and in FY23, we have done the highest sales ever in the tooling business, which is one of the most profitable business of the company. We've grown by more than 35% in the tooling business. And in the component business, sales is up by 4% on a YOY basis at a quarter level, and on the annual basis up by 36%. But still, you'd see that the raw material prices have gone down, and also we have gone in for very high level of value addition, and that has been the reason for the sales to go down. Otherwise, there's a business growth of 22% in the fourth quarter as well. If I see on the bus side, the sales have, few of the customers have pushed out the deliveries to Q1 and Q2 of FY24. And FY24 will be a very promising year for the organization as a whole. So it is just a push out. And on the other hand, the last financial year, the company had gone for moving to the new tax regime. And in the Q4 of FY22, we had the benefit of the full year coming in the last quarter, since we had switched over in the last quarter only. So it is not an apple-to-apple comparison in terms of the profitability reduction, if you see, between FY22 and FY23, the Q4. But at an annual level, you will see that the net cash accruals have gone up substantially from 231 crores to 251 crores. And clearly, the cash profit is increasing. The company is accruing much more cash and is well geared up for growing further. So it is only
all right, Nishant, your first statement was FY24 is going to be a solid year. So we'll hold you on to that one. Give us basic numbers. Last year, you almost reached 4,000 crores. If it's going to be a solid year, this year, what will the revenues look like? And going by all that you said, what can margins look like for FY24?
So we would be looking at least 35 to 40% growth in the top line in this financial year, and looking at about 5,500 crores. And on the other hand, if I talk about margins, even with this growth, we would be looking at 11 to 12% EBITDA for
12% margins.
So the company is very well. Yeah.
12% margin. Oh, I just want to probe you a little more, because the OEM division, I think that's the electric buses division, right?
Right.
Okay. Last year, you did around 550 crores. And as you're saying, some of those orders, they'll get pushed out in this year. So a couple of questions here. Basic details. Tell us how many buses were delivered in FY23. In FY24, how many buses will get delivered? And also, what could the revenue potential look like only in this division?
So we would look at least tripling the sales in this financial year in the bus business. And definitely, as I said, that we are looking at commissioning about 5,000 buses in next 12 months. So definitely that's the minimum which we could look at in this year.
Number of buses in the past year were how many? 5,000 buses you're talking about pushing out this year. In the last year, how many did you deliver?
Last year, we did close to 500 buses.
So you're going to increase that by 10x, and that means the revenues will increase just by 3x. You're saying you'll triple your bus business, while the number of buses that you will deliver.
So next 12 months, because always whatever happens is that whenever we deliver any buses, they get onto the road in next 2 to 3 months. So there is a lead time for execution.
No, that doesn't make sense. No, what we're trying to understand, Nishant, is that you said your bus division revenues will triple next year, right?
As a minimum,
And
yes.
as a minimum. And you said the number of buses that you will deliver will grow up 10x this year, from 500 last year to 5,000 this year. So why is it that despite a 10x increase in the number of buses that you deliver, your revenues will grow by just 3x?
No, so definitely the pricing of the buses and the market is becoming extremely competitive. So as a minimum, we foresee a 3x increase in the revenue, and it can definitely go higher. I'm just keeping in mind that in certain cases, as we saw in Q4, customers end up pushing out the deliveries by a quarter or so. So then or two, then in that case, that's the bare minimum we would look at in this financial year, which has a good headroom available for growing further.
Okay, so at least 1,650 crores from this division, we'll get it. And as you're saying, pricing pressure, we'll have to understand that in further detail, but we'll leave the discussion for another interview. Nishant, tell us, since the buses division now is looking up, the stock market is interested, investors are interested in this particular division. That's the EV part of the business. Do you think you look at some fundraising? Could you look at demerging this entity at some point of time, put it at a separate unit and raise some money? Because that's where the big value unlocking could come about. Is that on your mind?
No, I think definitely we'll be exploring these opportunities sometime soon as the requirements become more clear. And we'll be coming to the market to see how it can be structured in the best possible manner for creating value for all stakeholders.
Which one? First, you'll demerge first, or you'll bring an investor first in?
No, we will evaluate all options. What is the most suitable option, then we'll take it. And I think as we go on this path, we'll be sharing with all our shareholders.
All right, whatever you do, Nishant, I presume you do it soon because, like you said, the competitive intensity in this space is increasing. And if it further increases and the price realizations come down, then maybe chances are that, maybe valuations in this space also come down as competition increases. So we wish you good luck. You've given us a target.
Valuations will not come down because we are protecting the profitability of the company.
So typically, how are these businesses valued?
And
I mean, how much do you think your bus business?
In the electric bus segment. So that is not a challenge for us, and definitely we are.
Okay. In that case, just before we let you go, typically, how much is your bus division valued according to you, or how much it should be valued?
We haven't valued it separately today. We value it as a company, so we do not value the division separately. But definitely, when we look at creating any new structures, we'll be doing that in the future.
All right, Nishant, final question before we let you go. I wanted to understand what is the capacity of buses on a per annum basis as of now, because that's where the potential could come about, big revenue growth out there.
So we are trying to see that we will be increasing our capacity now very soon to 20,000 buses plus. So we will be very well equipped to deliver these buses. 20,000,
and currently it is how much, the capacity?
Currently it is 3,000, but in the next couple of months itself, we'll be moving to 20,000. The new facility will be up and running.
Okay, from 3,000 unit capacity as of now, you're saying it goes to around 20,000 units by the end of this year sometime?
No, in next 2 to 3 months.
2 to 3 months. Great, Nishant. It's been a good chat with you. This is something that we want to understand more, your investors, shareholders as well. So thanks so much for joining in and explaining that to us. As you said, for the business on the whole, 35% growth on the top line at least, with margins of around 12% order. The big growth comes in from the OEM business, which is the electric vehicle, electric buses business. Slip into a short break, come back, continue our focus on markets and stock specific action.